Hello everyone, hope you're all well. Just move my glasses out of the way and these. So what I've got in front of me, I have to remember to keep everything here because there's not a lot of room, but basically what I've got is some cloth, and as I said yesterday, I was going to make a sleeve type thing for my journal. So what I've got, I'll show you what I've got. So I've got, this will be the top, the fabric that I use. That will go over, you know, that will be my top piece of fabric. So that this is the bit that you're going to see. I've also got this felt, and I'm just wondering how much of that is needed, whether I do need felt. I do have this pillow slip. Yeah, it's not big enough to do it that way. So I've got a pillow slip here that it's a vintage one. It's quite old actually, and I've cut it down so that it will fit. So then that would be the pouch. Now it is quite sturdy. Okay, what I'll do then is I will just, you know, use the method of cutting that we all do, most of us do, and that is measuring, measuring that we tend to do, and that is to just sit it on top of the fabric and then do it that way, which is going to be the bottom. I think this is going to be the bit that comes up. So let me put my book in, my journal. I need to make sure I put a ribbon around it so that it's, because it's going to get damaged every time I do this. So that will come up like that, so you'll be able to see this lovely pattern. Forget that's there for a minute, because I'm trying to decide whether to cut it off. It's on the wrong side, but if I cut it off, so if it was on this side, it might, sorry, you might not be able to see there. So anyway, then that's going to come down like that, and then I was going to fold this over like that, and so you'll see more of that, but also I'll have a closure here like that, and you'll be able to see the two on the front, and then back we'll decide what I'm going to do with it. But I like it, I think it's nice. I'm going to leave the sides as they are. I'm just going to stitch them. So I will leave these edgings on because it's just the right size really. You don't want it any smaller than that. You don't want it too tight. And so yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So what I will do, I'm just going to turn this around. I can see that this is too big, this white felt, so I'm going to have to cut some down. Now it needs careful thought, because, alright, so that would come over there like that. Yeah. So I want the edge, I don't want the felt to come right to the edge, just because I think it just makes it bulky, difficult to sew, etc. So I'm going to measure it so that it just is slightly less wide than the edge of the fabric. So that would be something like that. Okay, I had hoped to have done all of this before I very uneven before I switched the camera on, and then you would just watch me sew. But I guess in some ways, you know, sometimes people want to see the process, so it's, once I've got all of this on, it's not going to be that complicated, to be honest, because I don't know how much actual, you know, slow stitch or anything I'm actually going to be doing on it. Right, let me just, that's not straight, it's terrible. But it's not terrible, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's difficult to, I find felt quite difficult to cut straight anyway, because it, right, I think that will do, I think. Then that will come over there like that, and then you'll have a gap there, but of course it will be stitched in. Now on this side, so that, let me just pin that then, so that we know where we are with it. I'll just, yeah, so that works, and that will, you know, that side works like that. Okay, now this side we need to do the same, so make it to come about there, just about ½ an inch, or maybe even less. I'm going to do a little hem there, so that sticks out, so I'm going to do that. So why don't you stick around and I'll chat with you while I'm doing this. I'm just grabbing some thread. I'm not doing any slow stitch at this point, it's just purely sewing. Well, I suppose it is slow stitch, isn't it? Whoops. My daughter bought me a lovely, oh, Rudy. She bought me a lovely pin cushion. I thought that was really pretty. She went to like a craft market at Christmas and she bought that for me. I haven't used it yet. I'm looking for a fairly thin needle. I think all my lovely thin ones have been lost. Okay, so let's have a look in here. I'm really faffing around. I made this one. Now that is thin, so I'm going to use that, and it's a bent needle, so that's perfect. I like my bent needles. There we go. I'll put that there. Let's get some thread on. So I don't mind if this is a little bit, you know, scrappy. I really don't mind. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. But I would like to do a little bit of sewing with you guys and see how we get on. And then I can, you know, put some patches, things that I like on it, or I can just leave it as it is. I don't know, we'll see. Made that a bit long because I know that when you do that I always get mess up with it. So turn it around so you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that in. It's already turned in, but it needs to be turned in a bit more, like that, just once, and I'm going to pop it on there and sew it on there like that. Hang on, I need to think about that. I'll leave a gap because I may well be trimming some off, so I'm going to leave a gap. To there. Should have done it inside, I don't know what I'm thinking, but never mind. Oh, I went all the way through, so that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to do overcast stitch. I could stitch it on my sewing machine, but being you know, I enjoy hand sewing, so yeah, we had a lovely day yesterday here, by the way. It was so pretty. The sun was shining, there were pretty spring bulbs out in the woods. Took Rudy for a walk. We had a nice little refreshing walk. It was still chilly, but it was really pretty, and in the sun it was, you know, warm enough to just enjoy it. This morning I woke up, I always wake up very early. Well, the animals wake me up, as in Bobby and Rudy, and it was really foggy out. It was like super foggy. You couldn't see a thing. And then it looked really pretty. I should have gone out and taken some photographs. And then the sun started, about 10 o'clock, the sun started to burn it off. So the sun came out and it was really pretty, hazy and sunny, and yeah, with fog, mist. I mean, I live in a bit of a valley, so we do get a bit of that, but it was really nice this morning, and I do think it could have had some really pretty photographs if I'd gone out. But I was tired this morning. I just couldn't face going out at that time, even at 10. I have housework to do, and I'm pushing it off being in here. But anyway, it can wait. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't get done today. It does need doing though. Well, I think I am house proud, but I have probably too much stuff, not downstairs but upstairs, because I don't have a lot of storage. I need to invest in some good storage, and I've just been putting that off as well. Yeah, I do think this is going to look better like that, look more professional. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to do around the house, and it would be nice to have them, you know, do them now while it's spring coming up. Have them nice for the summer. I was supposed to be booking a little week's holiday away with my grandchildren and daughter and partner and daughter, yeah, family, my daughter's family. But I haven't done it yet. I need to look. I did look. I had a brief look because we're just going to rent a cottage in Devon or somewhere. Somewhere in the southwest, and with all the criteria that we each have. That will be my summer holiday this year. I think I have no plans to go anywhere. I was hoping to go away with my friend. We were thinking about going to I think Bucharest, but we were going to book it, and then it's going to sound awful this, but then my friend's husband said he wanted to come, and I said, well, look, June, because I didn't want to be a third wheel, and also yeah, I mean, I get on okay with him, but we've known each other since we were teenagers, all three of us, and we've been very close in the past, and I'm still close to my friend, but not so close to her husband anymore. And so I just, you know, I said, well, why don't you two go? Because he said he'd never been before. So I thought, well, you know, give him a chance, go with him, and then, you know, we can go somewhere else. But then she said, oh, the prices have gone up. I said, did you book? And she said, no, the prices have gone up anyway. So I don't really know what happened there. But I think we're going to do something. We met for lunch this week, and I think we're going to do something next week because it's both of our birthdays, the day after each other. I wonder, you know, mine is the 15th and June's is the 13th. Sorry, the 16th. Don't know why I said that. It's nice to celebrate it together. Last year we went on a break. You might remember, to York. I think I talked about it anyway, for those of you who's been with me that long. Yeah, we had an absolutely lovely weekend, and again it was another beautiful cottage. It wasn't a weekend, it was I think I've pulled that in, gone. Anyway, it was midweek I think, but oh, it was just gorgeous. And it was April I think that we went, after our birthday. But we had a lovely time going around York, and we stayed in a little cottage outside of York, so it was a very quiet, gorgeous little traditional village, beautiful, very peaceful, but the cottage was stunning. It was a good find, and just on Airbnb, you know, there's so many lovely places now that you can book on Airbnb. So yeah, we had a lovely time. I don't know if it seems like I go away a lot, you know, for weekends away, but it is literally, you know, for a few days here and there, and it doesn't cost an awful lot when you share with other people. Right, so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'll probably do is just finish this off. I'll pause the camera, finish this off, and then come back, and then, you know, have a look and see what the next stage is. So I'll just pause. You don't want to be watching me do that the whole time. Okay, so I'm back. So what I've done is I have sewn this here onto there. Hopefully you can see that. So I've done lots of tiny stitches all the way along there, and the same on the other side. So now it's sewn in. So the two pieces are sewn to the three pieces rather, because we've got this piece underneath as well. They're all sewn together now. So, but the ends are still open. One of the ends, which will be the this will come over here like this. I'm going to stitch down with that. I think that's how I'm going to, yes, so that will, I'm going to stitch this bit here, and make, you know, just stitch it down basically. Whoop, sorry about that. I've just come in from walking Rudy, so my ears, it was so cold out there, the wind, and I always struggle. I didn't have my scarf on. I thought it was warmer than what it is, but anyway. So we had a nice walk. Saw an adorable cockapoo. I just love those dogs. My niece has a cockapoo, and they're gorgeous dogs. Now, yeah, I think this is going to look really nice. I enjoyed stitching the other bits. That was quite nice. You know, I always enjoy hand stitching. And I've got an idea for the sides that I will share with you shortly. It takes me a little while to get going just because I want to make sure that everything lines up. Okay, so I'm going to do Overcast again because it's probably the neatest and easiest to get started on. I'll just pop that under there. So it's actually the next day. When I stopped the video last time, I carried on working on it on the sides, and then I decided to have a bit of a break, and then I didn't come back to it. So this is the next day. So it might look neater actually if I did do a line of stitching going across there, but actually once it's been, if I decide to press it, I don't know if I will, but if I decided to press it, then it would look neater anyway, so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I could put something there. Oh, don't you just hate it when you get these knots? Sometimes they'll come out and other times they don't. No, it's not going to come out. Oh, frustrating. Right, what I do is I'm going to pop it under there because I just don't want to be starting and stopping. I'm going to pop it under there and stitch it in. I don't, do you do that? Does anybody else do that? I mean, it's cheating, but it works because you've already got a knot there, so it's not like it's going to, as long as it doesn't come out of that spot, it should be fine. Yeah, so I hope you're all well and enjoying your day, whatever day it happens to be. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for your lovely comments, by the way, relating to the journal. I'm so glad you liked it. A lot of you did, and you left lovely comments, so thank you. I really appreciate that. I know that, you know, some people are on here for junk journaling and some are here for the slow stitch, and I try to mix things up, you know. I try not to do all of one thing, you know, and then of course I like to do a little bit of mixed media every now and again as well. I was going to restart the Mixed Media Wednesday and then it fell by the wayside over Christmas, I think, and I haven't restarted it, so I should. So I'm quite slow here, but it is slow stitch after all. I'm trying to do it neatly and not have the stitches all, you know, huge and big gaps in between. It's a very neat little stitch. You can barely see it, and that's how I want it. So yeah, I really appreciated you commenting and, you know, supporting me and encouraging me with your comments. It means a lot. It really does. I really like the journal. I mean, it's a lovely journal. I'm really pleased with it. And, you know, it's telling when you put more effort into something, isn't it? It's the same with anything. When you put more effort into something, I'm just going to cut that little thing off, because in actual fact when I stitch it closed it's going to get in the way anyway, so I'm going to just cut it off there. But I enjoyed working on it as well, so it wasn't just the outcome, it's the, you know, the actual working on it that I really enjoyed as well. But I do have another one on the go. Well, when I say on the go, I've done the part of the around. Let me have a look. Yes, it is. I'll show you. This is the journal to be. So I used an old book cover and covered it in these beautiful papers and some of my own hand-dyed eco dyeing. But I think it's beautiful, and then inside it's Tim Holtz paper, but yeah, I think it's going to look gorgeous. So I'm just what I need to do is just finish off the papers, because I'm dyeing papers to go in there. So I think it's going to be a gift. I want it to be a gift, but I don't know if the person I'm thinking of is going to want something like that. So yeah, I haven't done any sort of, I haven't mentioned it, and I haven't talked to her about it, and I haven't talked to anybody else about it, so I don't know if it's something she would want, but I can find out. I mean, it's nice to have a surprise as well. Oh, I'm going to have to put the light on, guys. Nice to have a surprise as well, isn't it? You know, I mean, she might like the surprise, but what I don't want to do is put, I mean, it's nice to give a gift, and especially a handmade gift, but quite often when I've given handmade gifts before, they've tended not to be, it's not that they're not appreciated, but they're just sort of not really, how can I say, well, maybe the word is, it's not that they're not appreciated as in I see the work you've put into it, it's that they're not appreciated as in it's not something, it's something I don't want type of thing. Oh, I'm rambling, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that I like making things for other people, and I would like to make it for her as a journal, and I would like it to be something that she would like in a practical way, for a very specific purpose. And I can't say any more than that, because, you know, it's personal. But yeah, it's very specific in mind. I have in mind about journaling and the need to journal and that sort of thing. And so I wanted to give it to her to help her in her journaling process. But you know, I don't want to give it to her so she feels obliged. Oh dear, I know I'm not making myself clear. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a lovely journal, pretty, but quite practical. Not a lot of lace and things going on. It's more of a practical journal, but I still want it pretty. I was looking last night, I was online looking for something very specific to make curtains. I really like the look of the very soft linen, but it's a a sort of a gauzy linen. And you know, you can look online and you can see all sorts of different types of linen, or, you know, people selling linen, but it's difficult to know if it's the right, because I think there's a process. It's like washing it to soften it, so it's going to get very, very wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea, but a very, very informal look. I'm going to sew them myself, so I was looking for the curtains initially, and then realised how expensive they were, and I thought, no, I'm not paying that. I don't mind paying for the linen, it's just the amount that they're charging for the curtains themselves, and they're really very simple. So what I thought I'd do is buy the fabric and then make my own, because again, they're very simple. And so that's what I was looking for last night. And Eastern European countries to have a lot of linen, because they grow, I'm guessing because they're growing what's it called? You know what I'm well, the plant. I can't think of the plant. And so they're growing the flax. So they're growing the flax, and we don't seem to do that over here. I don't know why. I mean, you know, maybe I should grow my own flax. But no, obviously I don't. Well, it's not obvious, but I don't have the room. I know someone who does, but he uses it himself for his own things. But I like that gauzy linen, you know, not the heavy linen. This is actually linen, but it's quite a heavy one. I want the gauzy one, the lighter one. And you can get, like, I love muslin. I have muslin bedding. I mean, it became fashionable, didn't it, a couple of years ago, and I bought myself some just because I love the softness of it. And I did think about using muslin, but then it's not going to give me the same effect. I need this sort of gauzy but flounciness that linen, you know, crumpled linen would give. Yeah. So anyway, I saw, went online and I looked. You can buy it, but like I said, it's expensive. So I was just looking for it, and as I said, I noticed a lot of Eastern European countries sell it, whereas in this country we tend to not to sell it at a reasonable price, is what I'm trying to say. But then of course you've got the added costs of delivery, postage. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out what to do. There's somewhere else I saw, Spain. There's a lady in Spain that sold it as well. It's interesting because, I mean, let's say for the size of my window, the drop, I think I'm looking at about £80–90. My feeling is that that's a lot. You know, my budget, no, Rudy, is that it's quite a lot for a flimsy curtain, even though it's linen. So I'm just wondering how I can, you know, £40 I would say, yeah, okay, because I've got a very narrow, it's a narrow window, but I'm looking at it and I think it's about 2 meters, drop. Maybe a bit less. Just under, maybe. Anyway, so that's, I'm thinking of that at the moment, because I'm trying to do like a, you know, a bit of a reset in the house. There's jobs that I need to do around the house, and I want to freshen it up, and particularly want to freshen this room up. Well, and my bedroom and the kitchen. And also, since getting Rudy, he's been having little accidents in the lounge on my carpet. I've got a rug in there. Luckily, I've got a wooden floor underneath. And it's a rug, not carpet. But anyway, so I've just taken the rug up, and I'm trying to decide what to do next, because one of the reasons that the people let him go was because he had accidents, but they put it down to the fact that they worked long hours. Well, I can let him out, I can take him out, I can let him out, I can make sure he goes out, but yet he still will do it in the house sometimes. And I spoke to somebody who has this type of dog, and she was saying that it's very common in these dogs. So it's a very common problem. So I've been trying different ways of, you know, trying to stop it, because he does it. He'll sneak down in the middle of the night and do it. So he'll hold it in. He'll go out. He's very sneaky in a way. I think of it as sneaky, but obviously that's, you know, that's me, you know, putting my ideas into a doggy's head. But he, whoops, what he does, he's gone somewhere, is he pretends that he's done something. So I have to stand, if for example, if he's in the garden and he's gone out for a last one, well, not even then, but it's been raining, I know immediately if it's going to be a problem, because he tries to come straight back in for a start. So you know, then I stand with him, and he wanders around the garden looking for a little place, and sorry about that noise. And then he might do a little one, but it's, you know, he pretends that either he's done it or he doesn't need one, you know, and he's so stubborn that I can stand there watching him for 10 minutes and he still won't do it. So, you know, he totally, you know, I don't like my wet feet, but then he's, oh, that's a funny noise. I think he's listening because he's gone all moody. Yeah, he pretends. He knows exactly what he's doing. I was reading about it, and people were saying, you know, these people on these advisors and what have you, and they're saying, oh, they don't know what they're doing. That's absolute rubbish. He knows exactly what he's doing. Exactly. Because he knows, because he's guilty when he's done it. He acts all guilty. So he knows, because he's learned that what he's doing isn't, you know, he's going to cause problems for him. He's going to get told off, or I don't know what happened in his old house. But he's learned that it's a problem, but then he still does it. He's willing to still do it, even if he knows. So yeah, but it's very tricky. I mean, you know, when I first got him, I felt huge pressure, because I knew, you know, it bothered me a lot. that I was taking on a dog that had problems like that. I did think it would be easily solvable because I don't, you know, I'm in the house or I'm easily able to take him out or whatever. I'm available to him, but it hasn't stopped him. So I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. Anybody got any suggestions? I mean, he does go out, you know, it's not like he doesn't have access. He has access to a garden. He goes for walks. He has a lot of affection, toys and treats every now and again, and yeah, he's well looked after. So I don't know what the answer is. When I spoke to the woman who had two of them, and she said, oh yeah, it's what they do, and I said, well, what, do we just have to accept it? It's what they do is not really ideal for them or for their owners, or, you know, their human friends. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to just snip that off. So now, so that's like that. Isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. What I'll do is I'll show you what it looks like that. There. Isn't that lovely? That is so nice. So nice. Right, now the next thing is I've got this idea. I hope you like it. I think it's going to work because I before I came on, where is it? There. So before I came on here, switch my camera on, I threaded this. So basically I've got the same, oh no, it's different, I think. Is it the same or is it different? Anyway, this cotton here from an old pillowcase or something, I took a strip off, threaded it, and this is what I'm going to do. Now the reason I thought about this is because I think it's so pretty. I thought I wanted to do something different on it. Right, so I do need this back. Okay, so now I still have to sew this up, so I'm bearing that in mind, but I need to find out where to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread through there and tie it instead of sewing it. How about that? How about that? So I need to just mark where it's going to come to. So it's going to come to there. I'll just keep my hand on that for a minute. So I need to put that there. I'm just going to put that through there, and or do I close this up first? Yeah, I'm going to have to close that up. Oh well, you've seen what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to turn the camera off. I'm going to close this up, just sew it up in the same way, and then I'll be back to show you the other bit. Bye for now. Okay, so I'm back. So I've stitched along the top there, along here. We've stitched that, I've stitched down the sides, so now it's completely stitched together. Like that, and like that. Beautiful piece of fabric, old and a bit raggy, but that's how I want it. And then this is just temporary going around there, but then this is then for a minute there I thought it was open. So then this is then going to be something like that, and then I have to make sure that it's straight, and that when I as I said, I'm going to use these. I've got one for either side, and I'm going to utilize this. I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I'm going to try it. Utilize this lace and see if it works, to sort of use this ribbon to go through it. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's worth trying. I'm going to start here, because I will decorate it in some way, but I'm not sure how yet. I just want to sort of get this done. So I'm going to start here. So I'll go through there first, and I will tie a little knot, and I might do something else there, I don't know, but I'll just leave a knot there for now. And then I need to pull this like that, and then go through here. Good. Okay, so that's that, and then what I thought I'd do is just keep going through. So go down here, through that hole. I mean, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, you know, I'm just playing it by ear, and through there. If it's not a good idea, then I will immediately put a stop to it. I mean, I'll you know, do something else, but I just thought it was something different. And also, the other thing I thought is, well, then it's not permanently one thing, if that makes sense. It's permanently, it's not, you know, I can open it up. If I decide to open it up, I can open it up, and then it's not just one thing. Right, I'm trying not to pull it tight because I don't want it to you know, I want it to sit nicely. Okay, well, so far so good. I think that's a gap there, so I need to go in there. Yeah. I don't want to leave big gaps. I want it to be fairly even. It's hard to see. That's why I'm taking my time, because it's hard to see. There. Looks like there's a big gap there, but there isn't. It's just because I haven't pulled it there. That's better. Yeah, I think it's working. And I'll straighten out the ribbony bit, you know, when I'm done. I'm just trying to, you know, I think once I'm done, I can pull on the ribbon a little bit and make it a bit nicer to look at. So yeah, this will hopefully work, and then I'll have to think of a closure, but I'll do that. I'll do the closure and then show you what I've done, because you know, the video's just going to take too long otherwise. Although I'm speeding up a bit here, but I'll do this side and then I'll do the other side, and then I'll show you what it looks like. But I just wanted to, you know, share this idea with you. It just came to me because I was thinking, well, what if I don't want to sew it up, you know? I just thought this might be a good idea. Oh, what have I done there? No, that was right, yeah. Go in there and in there. Sunny again now, but it's still very, very bitterly cold. But this is typical for March. I always think of the March winds, you know. Being, I was born in March, on March 15th, this weekend, and Mother's Day here in the UK as well. And I always think of it as windy. Potentially sunny, but windy as well. Pull that through. And people used to say Mad March winds, or the, you know, Mad March hare or something like that, because hares are boxing and territorial, and I don't know, I might be making that up. Of course, Easter's early this year here. Is Easter the same everywhere? I know Mother's Day isn't, but obviously that's not, you know, that's a made up thing. Or a modern. Oh, well, I probably didn't need to do the second ribbon because I'm going to have enough. I didn't think, I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be enough. There we go. And then what I'll do is I'll probably come around and then go back on myself somehow. It's just so that I can tie a knot on the end there. But that's that side done. So let me pop it in. You can have a look. And then what I'll do is I'll just pull out the ribbon a little bit, make it look a bit prettier. And I can't, it's not like I can tie a bow or anything unless I went back up. But I think I like that. And you've still got that, you know, it's still very pretty, even though you've sort of taken away the holes of that. I think it's still pretty. It's got a nice little edge there, a little tie there. I could put something on there. I think that works. So I'm going to do the other side, and I will come back and show you again what I've done. So bear with me. I am back. So what I've done is I have threaded the you know, the ribbons through there like that, and I've taken it all the way to the top, and then I've tied a little knot here, and I've tied a knot there, but I've left these two hanging down. I might add a little gem or something to them, and then I've then added this pretty ribbon as a closure. All I've done is I've used let me see, this glue, Pritt Stick, because it's very sticky, and I've glued it on it because I didn't want to make it permanent, you know, if I had to take it off. I did try this, but it blended in too much, and also it obscured a lot of that lovely lace and everything on there. So I've just glued it to there and there, and yeah, it's a pretty closure. Took inspiration from the old jewellery roll. Well, you can buy them now, jewellery rolls that you used to get, you know, well, they're sort of the ones that you use when you go on holiday, you know, you take your jewellery and things in them. So I took inspiration from that, but I absolutely love it. And I'm thinking, what, you know, what am I going to do with it next? But for now, this is how it looks, and I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, let me know if you like it. So it's quite roomy inside. That's a bit of a thing that I didn't think about, is that folding back because too long. It's okay, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I didn't think about that. Anyway, so inside obviously I've got my journal, and it's a big pouch, so it could hold anything really, but I'll just show you what it looks like this. I mean, you could roll it up like that and carry it around with you if you wanted to put things in it. So you could have it like that and carry it around. It's really pretty, and it's just one of those old, I burnt the edges a bit too much probably, because there's like a burn mark on the edge of there, but anyway, so yeah, so you could put all sorts of things in there. I could have put a pocket in there. That fabric that I use, the cloth that I use, is so soft, it's gorgeous. It's almost a shame to hide it in there, but it is beautiful. It's such a lovely cotton fabric, and of course this is linen. But as I say, this was a bit of a, it should have been maybe like that, because it was a bit too long. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm not going to, you know, so it fits that nicely. And if I wanted to swap it out with something, let me just show you something else. I've got a book or another journal or something. Let me just grab something. Yeah, so if I wanted to put another book, a reading book in, it holds that easily. Or, you know, a journal or something. And then I can add other things in there as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I hope you like it. Just a simple use of making use of the, you know, lovely old fabrics. And I really like that idea. I think it's pretty. And like I say, I might add something to those ends, just something to dangle down. I don't know what though. It's very simple. The other thing I was going to do was patch up these little frayed edges. I really like them though. Do some slow stitch on it, but it's so pretty as it is. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Should I decorate it with other things, or should I leave it this time and just, you know, do things like this on a different, you know, on a different day? Because it's so pretty as it is. It's a shame really to add anything to it, I think. And I do love the fact that it's got these little frayed edges, not edges, but little frayed parts to it. Just makes it look well worn and pretty. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll consider doing other things to it, but I'm going to leave it there for now and pop my journal back in. This needs to be changed. In fact, let me just take it off. I've just put it there because I needed something quickly and that was available. Don't think, this isn't the one that I used, but I'll just add it anyway. Pretty sure it's not the one I used to close it with, but I'm going to add it and I'm just going to tie in a knot there, and then that goes nicely in there, and that comes over and you can put the bow anywhere you like, so you could put it down here, up there, anywhere. Faffing around now, aren't I? Actually, it's glued on in a way that it sort of it lends itself to be a bow to be made here, like that. So, oops, there we go. Beautiful, love it. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I will be back very soon with another video. So take care everyone, and bye for now.